What's going on, everyone? This is Zach, and today we are going to talk about the new Pokemon that were announced in the Pokemon Presents. Gave us a little bit more information on the Teal Mask and Indigo Disk, especially a release date for the Teal Mask, which is September 13th, which is a month away. A little bit more than that, but either way, we got two new Pokemon that came out. We had Archaludon and Dripplin. Archaludon is an evolution to Duraludon, and then Dripplin is an evolution to Applin. Let's talk about Dripplin first because I think it has the least amount to talk about. It is the candy apple Pokemon. I said caramel apple when it first dropped. I mean, they're really the same thing. It's just caramel instead of candy covering the apple. Grass Dragon, still Grass Dragon. It has Gluttony, which has been on most of them, and then Super Sweet Syrup. Those are its two abilities. Newly discovered. It's sticking its head out of one end. The head sticking out seems to belong to one of two separate creatures, while the tail belongs to the other. Both creatures help each other out. So there's actually two of them in there. Is that going to lead to another evolution? I wonder. The fact that it clarifies that it has two worms in there, two applins. But Dripplin coats their apples with a syrup produced within their bodies, layers of fragrance syrup. And its new move, Syrup Bomb. So Syrup Bomb is a grass-type special attack that causes an explosion of syrup. This coats the target in syrup and causes its speed stat to lower for each turn for 3 turns. So every turn it's going to have a stat drop in its speed, which I think is really cool. It reminds me a lot of like Grab Apple, where Grab Apple lowers the defense. Apple Spray or something lowers the special defense, I believe. And so Applin's ability, Super Sweet Syrup, or Dripplin's ability, Super Sweet Syrup, it will appear in the Teal Mask. So I'm guessing Archaludon is in the Indigo Disk. When Dripplin first enters battle, the sweet scent of syrup drops evasion. So this is going to be good. Like when legendaries come around are like with super effective moves, you can use it next to Esperatha instead of having the Sandy Shocks. But I think those two are a really good combination. I can't see you switching out for a Dragon Grass Pokemon. I think that just gives it becomes more Flutter main food. But this could be good to drop the evasion for like Stone Edges, for like really powerful moves. And that's about it. I don't know how the stats are going to be. I'm not expecting really much from this Pokemon. I do wonder if, since they brought up the fact that it has 2 worms in it, maybe it gets another evolution, but that would be super weird for one stage of Apple, like one evolution of Applin to have another evolution, and then there's Flapple and Appleton. I don't think they would do that, but I think it's going to be interesting. Someone's going to make it work, but other than that, I don't think it's going to do that much. And so our next one is Archaludon. Archaludon is not coming until the Indigo Disk, and so that's a little bit of a bummer because I think this Pokemon is a lot more exciting than Dripplin. The only reason why I like Dripplin is because I can get it for my son. He loves Appleton, or Applin. He calls it Apple Allen. But Archaludon, it is a Pokemon based off of the London Bridge, I'm assuming. And it is an evolution to Duraludon. So this is kind of cool seeing these Gen 8 Pokemon get evolutions so early from their regular game. It's going to be the ally Pokemon. It's going to remain Steel Dragon. It could still get Stalwart through a hidden ability because it doesn't say its hidden ability. It's going to have Stamina and Sturdy. And Stamina is the one that caught my interest the most. So in a pinch, it takes on a bridge-like appearance. So basically the form change center of gravity, yada, yada, yada. I think that's just like the aesthetic, the attacking thing. Archaludon builds up static electricity and fires a powerful beam. So this is talking about its new move. And the new move is going to be super interesting. It is an electric type move, which is weird for a steel dragon, but it's still going to be good nonetheless. It is basically what seems to be a solar beam for rain, which I think can be really good. Actually, it's more like it's like meteor beam. So its new move is Electro Shot. So with this electric type special move, Archaludon gathers a vast quantities of energy and fires off a high voltage of electricity under rainy weather conditions. Archaludon can immediately fire this off without having to spend time charging up if it's raining. So in the rain, it immediately fires off. So rain just got a really strong tool here, especially for like those like rain versus rain teams. Like Archaludon is going to be one of those things that like swings the factor if both teams are using rain. So it gets a special attack boost and then it fires a shot off. And according to Victory Road, says it skips the charge when it's under rain. So this is going to be really cool, and I think that there is a lot of potential for Archaludon here. And my first thought that comes to mind is the beat up strategy, in all honesty. Mousehold is going to give it Friend Guard, which makes it even bulkier. So what you can do here is Duraludon. Duraludon was known for having very poor special attack. So you can go the Assault Vest here, and we're going to assume that you should get boost. Like there should be some stat changes. It could lose defense. It could lose special defense, but I think honestly it just gets slower. So here you can see if we have the Assault Vest, we actually turn like 70 into 105. And you can always tweak this to get more out of it. Like if you go max here, like if you just go to 100, that's 150 base special defense. And if you have the stamina ability, what you can do is you can beat up the Duraludon and not only have the bulk that Assault Vest gives you, but you can also be +4 on defense, which I think could be really good here, especially with the fact that Duraludon had access. It says it's illegal, but I checked Cerebi. It gets body press. So you can have a really strong special attacker that with the help of a partner can get to +4 defense and then have the Assault Vest. So like you don't even have to invest into the special attack and the defense that much. You can just max out the HP here and honestly max out the special attack or add like 1 or 2 if we go modest. We can just go until we have an even number. Even if you want to like just add 1 into the defense, I don't think that would hurt it, especially if you're getting the +4 off. So with the +4 in defense in the Assault Vest, like this becomes a really bulky mon with access to body press. So it can just get rid of opponents. And if with the Electro Shot, you have a way of boosting your special attack as well. So you don't have to worry about things like Life Orb. You don't have to as much. You don't have to try to get like the weakness policy off. Like a lot of people did with Sword and Shield and Gigantamax and Dynamax. People were using it as like a body, like as a Dynamax mon who would get weakness policy, and then they would use Max Steel Spike to boost its defense. And then once Dynamax was over, if Duraludon was still around, people would start clicking body press, which would do really good damage. And if you clicked Max Steel Spike 3 times and they didn't drop your defense at all, that was just +3. So in one turn, you can get to +4. And so you have support like the Friend Guard, Beat Up, Follow Me, and then if they're trying to be passive about it, you can click Encore. Does Mousehold get Taunt? It does get taunt, so you could taunt like a haze user, and with the steel typing, clear smog isn't going to do anything. So unless they have haze, clear smog isn't going to do anything. Now, you do still have to worry about like Chempal Sacred Sword. That's definitely one thing that you would still have to worry about. But, I mean, this is only 2 Pokemon on a team, you know? So, this could definitely be something there that does really good. We'll have to see how the stats change with Archaludon. If it gets more special defense, the more special defense it gets, honestly, like this idea gets even better. As long as it doesn't lose any defense, but still getting to like +4. Really good. And I'm glad they changed the abilities to stamina and sturdy. I do think that's really important here because its abilities, other than Stalwart before, were light metal and heavy metal, which really didn't do anything. I guess it would be beneficial for like Heavy Slam, and that wouldn't be too bad against Fluttermanes, but how much is a regular, like, is a Stalwart Heavy Slam doing to Fluttermane? Probably a lot. Another thing with Duraludon here is now that Duraludon has an evolution, it can now carry the Eviolite. So the Eviolite doubles both of the defenses, and so you can still have access to protect, boosting moves. So you can get a really bulky Duraludon here, even without having to evolve it. So I think that could be really useful as well. Eviolite does everything's like 1.5. So basically you have a assault vest, and you get that defense boost as well. So you could really do something very similar. You can do Stalwart to avoid redirection. And so you can do the same thing here with like Body Press, Flash Cannon. It's saying it's illegal, and that's because Duraludon isn't in the game yet. And then you can have, does it get a boosting move? And so it doesn't get any boosting moves here. So I want to say the Archaludon will probably still be a little better, but like there's still options. Like if you don't want to do the Draco Meteor, like if you don't want to lose those boosts, you can always go Dragon Pulse. And if you wanted to go like the physical side, Breaking Swipe was really good on Roaring Moon early in like Series 2. So definitely that's something to keep in mind, that you could use the Breaking Swipe. You could honestly have Breaking Swipe if you just wanted to solely rely on Body Press. You could have the Breaking Swipe and the Snarl here to just do damage mitigation against your opponents, and it would work out really well. It is definitely, Archaludon is definitely, out of these two, it's the one that caught my attention the most when I saw its ability, like the stamina. I think stamina is going to be really good for it. We'll just have to see how its defenses are and its HP is. I do think this mon is going to be slower, so there's always that. For Terra, you could go, I would have to say like probably just standard like Terra Water. Like you can go Terra Water, and just go for the defensive typing, because Duraludon's actually, it's like a mid speed. What if you get down to 0? What's the lowest you can get it? 90. So that's not anything notable for Trick Room, so I wouldn't do that. But who knows if its speed drops on evolution, which I feel like bulkier mons, like bigger, bulkier mons, like they usually, if they evolve to be bulkier, their speed gets slower. So we'll have to see the stats for Archaludon, but I am really excited for it. Which one are you excited for? Let me know in the comments down below. How did you like the React? How did you like the Presents? I liked a lot from it. The only thing I wish would have happened is that the Mochi would have been for IVs and not EVs, but having a way to EV grind a little easier is going to be nice. So anyways, that's going to be all. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think Archaludon is going to be good in VGC? I think it definitely has the right tools to do so. You just got to watch out for those fighting type Urshifus in close combat, but you can always have a defensive Terra. You can Terra Fairy like Gudra's been doing, and I think you can get a lot out of this if you play it right. But that's going to be all. Till next time, I'm Zach, and we'll see everyone later.